Hey, welcome. In this video, we're going to be talking about triads again. Now, I want to share with you some confusion that I've heard on a lot of students. You know, they say, well, you know, I get the caged system, but what's the difference of the C and the D shape? They seem so similar. Well, I want to talk a little bit about that. Then I also want to talk about the G shape and the A shape. They also look a little similar in how you would utilize that. So let's take a look here. Now remember, we did the C shape, you know, and the A shape and the E shape in the last video. Well, let's take a look here at the C shape again. Okay, just review. Okay, so remember, I have here's my 1, 3, 5, yeah, and then here's my 1 and 3 again. So I have C, E, G, C, E. Okay. Now let's take a look with those same notes, okay, starting on the A string and going all the way to the E string. Now let's take a look at a D chord, okay? So I have A. So now I don't have a root position, right? But I kind of have a second inversion, right? D, F sharp, A. Yeah, so I have a second inversion, right? The fifth is in the lowest position. So I have, here's my 5, my 1. So A, D, and then I have another A. Now I have another D. Now I have an F sharp, okay? So if I play from here, definitely a D chord, okay? However, I only have my third is on the bottom. So if I look at this and I say, well, here's my root, and if I just play these three notes, so let's say, for example, like we played in the last video, we only did the D string, the G, and the B string. Well, if I play that, I have a D, I have an A, and then I have another D. So that's kind of a D5. It really is not a triad. It's only two notes. It's an octave of D with an A in the middle. So it really doesn't work. Now, how to make that work, I can do a C shape right here. So I have a first inversion, right? So I start with the F sharp, yeah, then I have the A, then I have my D. So that's the difference. I can play this, and that would, by all means, would be totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. Well, now, what if I do want to play an actual D shape? Because it is in the caged system, right? So I would play it like this. So I'd play the top three strings. So really, it comes down to what string sets are you playing. So for a D shape, I'm going to play the G string, the B string, and the E string. So I start out here with an A, yeah. So I have a second inversion. So I start with the A, then I have my D, then I have my F sharp. So here's my D shape, and here's my C shape. So I'm playing a different string set. Now, if I played the same string set, you know, and even though I did the shape, well, it's going to sound the same. So really, the cage system is about the shape of the chord, right? And the inversion is about what notes you're playing, okay? Hopefully that's helpful. Now let's take a look at the difference between the G shape, yeah, and the A shape. Now, you look at this and you think, well, why would you even have a G shape? It just seems kind of ridiculous. Well, it kind of works the same way. So here's my G chord, okay? 1, 3, 5, right? Take a close-up here. So here's my G shape. So here's my 1, my 3, yeah, and my 5, the D string open. Okay, now if I keep going, then I have a G, then I have a B, but then I have another G, okay? So what happens is that kind of the same thing with the D. You know, if I just played this, then I'm just gonna have an A shape, basically. If I play the D, the G, and the B, I'm basically just playing an A shape. Now, if I wanted to add, and again, remember, we're talking about triads. Now, if I want to add here, and a lot of times, say for example, I'll play an A. Let's play a C in the G shape. A lot of times we'll just do it this way. But really, I'm not really playing a C. Here's my root note right here. I'm not really playing a C triad. I'm really playing a C5 5. Why? Because I look at the G chord here. So I have the G string open. I have the B, right? So I have my 1, 3, but then I have a 1 again. So I really don't have a triad. I have the 1 and I have the 3 and I have the 1. Okay, so it's really not a triad. So that's the difference between, you know, the A shape, right? The G shape, right? Or you know, when we talk about the C shape and the D shape, because it doesn't make a full triad. So it really depends on the string set that you're going to be utilizing. All right, there you go. Well, there's the difference between the C shape and the D shape, the G shape and the A shape. I know I've had a lot of students that really kind of got confused with that. Remember, it really is about what string sets that you're playing. Now, does that make those other you know, like the 1, the 3, and the 1, or the 1, 5, and 1, does that make those invalid? No, you can definitely use those, and those are actual valid shapes, not a problem at all. You can go ahead and use those. It really kind of helps you to really recognize, though, what shape are you going to call it. You know, I'm not going to go down here and call this, you know, these 3 open strings for a G chord. I'm not going to call that a G shape. I'm going to call it an A shape because, you know, of the position of it. You know, if I was going to play this, well, then obviously I'd call it a G shape. Yeah, so kind of the same thing with the D, the C and the D as well. All right, well, I hope that was helpful. Hey, until next time, happy practice.